So the first thing you want to do is gather your tools. In my case, I've got a #1 Phillips head screwdriver, some tape because the back of the screen is going to have some tape over the connection, and I got a razor blade in case there's any little tape I have to cut or to pry up the screw covers. Turn off your computer. There we go. Remove the power. That's important. You also want to remove the battery. On this particular model, you have to use a screwdriver or you can use your finger to push that slide over. There's no finger latch. There's 2 screws, one here and one here. Go ahead and remove the screw covers. Alright. Set that aside because you're going to want to replace those. You want to remove those screws and put them somewhere you will not lose them. For now, I'm going to use the inside of this roll of tape that I have. Just set flat on the table. Just set them inside the tape roll. Lean the screen all the way back. You're going to have to get your fingernails or another flat blade inside, in between the cover, and very gently twist to pry this cover off. Very gently. It just pops off. Work your way up the side, freeing any clips. Do the same on the other side. The bottom of the screen is also attached with clips, and I actually had to flip the laptop over and go ahead and slide the screwdriver in here and free these clips as well. Once you get all the clips from the bottom free, the front panel will basically be hanging loose. You'll have to be very careful with these 2 hinge covers. They may still be attached, but if you lift up and pull towards the keyboard a little bit, they should pop right up with a little bit of persuasion. Now save this. You're obviously going to want to put it back on. Now, you're going to be presented with these 2 screws you need to remove. This is what holds the back to the screen. There's 2 more screws down here at the bottom as well. Be very careful. You see this cord is attached, so you don't want it to rip. But it's only sticky, so you can just put your finger on it like so, and it'll separate. Now very carefully pry the back, minding the cables, away from the screen. You can very carefully separate these. Okay. Now, the back is no longer attached to the laptop. Those screws we removed at the bottom keeps it attached. The way this screen attaches, it screws in from the sides. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on each side that you need to remove. If you're like me and you are just replacing the 900p resolution screen that comes with a laptop with a 1080p replacement from laptopscreens.com, then you'll want to save your old screen in case anything ever happens to your new one. You can simply replace it with the stock screen. Or you can sell it to a friend, you can sell it on eBay, whatever. Any way you look at it, a cloth is a good option right here. You want to slide it between the screen and the keyboard so that once you take these screws off, the front of the screen won't get damaged. You may want to remove the data cable before proceeding with removing the rest of the supports, because you don't want to forget about it and rip it off. So you have this data cable. You'll notice it has a piece of tape over it. You're going to want to very carefully lift it, you can remove that tape without any problem. It just pops right up, no problem. Set it aside. Remember, don't touch any of that. Go ahead and remove the screws from the other side of the laptop. Take your old display, remove it carefully, and set it aside. You won't be needing it again. Take your new display, remove it from the package. You'll see the screws all line up. So we're going to put in 2 screws on each side for starters, and then go ahead and connect the ribbon cable. Reattach your data cable. Very carefully. Line it up. Slide it into place. Shouldn't take any force at all. Lift up your new screen, leaving that screen protector on there for right now. You will want to remove it before you put on the front, or you will never get it off. It has some tape that wraps around the back, so if you want to go ahead and peel that off now, that's fine. Lift the back into place. Realign the webcam data cable. Make sure that it's not getting bundled up. There are some pins that you need to align on either side. They simply slide into some holes. There are also pins at the top. So there are 4 pins. At this point, you're going to want to replace the 6 screws that we pulled out. I'm going to perform a test boot to make sure that it works. Well, we know it works. So go ahead and shut down your computer again. One thing I noticed, there are 2 pins, but there are no screws for the webcam. Make sure you have these pins aligned. My circuit board fell off of one of the pins, this one on the right side. In fact, it's coming off right now. Make sure that it's sitting on those pins before you put the front back on. Set this in place. Keeping an eye on the cable that it does not get out of. This should simply press into place. If it doesn't set down, you didn't get something screwed in properly. Remember all those bottom clips? Make sure they all get snapped in. And all you have left is 2 screws and the screw covers. And there you have it. Laptop screen replacement. Upgrade. Check the bottom. Looks good. Put the battery back in. Beautiful. Done.